Right.
Is that hospital not doing it out of a trailer, I hope, or in some shack on a mountainside? I know people that go to South America for plastic surgery. This is very common. I don't know, man. Doesn't that sound risky to you?
It does.
I don't know. And now you have these companies selling drugs. Those Canna RX, they're not making any drugs. They're not making anything. They're just distributing drugs that they're getting it from other places all over the world. Those drugs aren't made in Canada. Canada has high standards. The equivalent to the FDA in Canada is, my goodness, they have a reputation of being very difficult, which is good. Joseph Morris, general counsel, lawyer for Canna RX, said in an interview, quote, every prescription that is dispensed through a Canna RX program is dispensed directly to the patient from a licensed, regulated brick-and-mortar pharmacy in Canada, Britain, or Australia.
That's interesting that, they put a statement out like that. So, I mean,
they're trying. It's called liability.
Yeah.
And the patient can be sure that the medicine she receives is the medicine that her doctor ordered. Close quote. Well, then why is the U.S.'s FDA so much in a twist, sir? Are they hallucinating? Maybe they're taking some drugs that haven't been approved.
You're not talking about generics, though. You're talking this is
drugs.
Yeah.
Whatever. Generic, non-generic, whatever. It doesn't make any difference.
But you're not talking about the comparison of generics towards name brands. No. Okay.
No. The FDA did not present any evidence that Canna RX drugs came from countries other than those it advertised, but said its investigation was ongoing. Oh, my. So be careful. We come back, we'll talk to Bill. I think he wants a comment about traveling for surgery. You're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition, coast to coast and globally. to another country to have major surgery, whether it's plastic surgery or whatever, would you do it? And would you do it for the reason that it's cheaper? So you're going to take a flight, you're going to have the hotel, the flight, that costs money. You could probably spend $3,000 or more just getting there and staying there. I don't know. Let's see what Bill thinks about that in Tampa, Florida. Are you going to go to Jamaica to get brain surgery?
Well, first of all, I saw a show a few months ago about Singapore, and they do a really awesome full body exam. They do the scans, the colonoscopy with a camera, everything in a 24-hour period, and then you meet with doctors, after that. So I'm very impressed by that, and this was a billion-dollar medical center. But I was a surgical technician back in the day in Miami, worked for a cosmetic surgeon for a time. It's not unusual to have people come in who have had surgeries, but the problem is you get calls from people who have had recent procedures, and let me just equate it to this. I mean, if you ever had someone working on your car and then somebody else, he says, why don't you take it back to that other mechanic? It's very difficult for another plastic surgeon to intervene or try to help you when you had plastic surgery last week at somebody else. And that's the problem. It's all good when it's good, but if you have an issue, then that's when the problem is.
I wonder Bill, I don't have the statistics on, the risk. What's the risk? How often does it work out? How often does it not work out? Are some countries safer to go to than others? I mean, I might go to Britain, for example, or, one of the EU countries. I'm not so sure I'd go to Jamaica. And some of these plastic surgeons hang out in these warmer climates. South America, I mean, a lot of people go to Mexico. I don't know, man. How would you check that out anyway? How would you go about? It's usually by word of mouth. Oh, my friend Betty went there and had a XYZ procedure, and man, she looks great.
I just sent you a link. Singapore attracts more than 200,000 medical tourists every year, and the government is pushing it to exceed 1 million. Heart bypass surgery in the United States, 140,000. Singapore, 25.
Oh, my God.
Thailand, 15,000. Hip replacement surgery, United States, 45,000. Singapore, 13,000.
Doesn't that sound a little... Bill,
the only thing that's on par is knee replacement. It's 15,000 here, 15,000 in Singapore, and 12,000 in Thailand.
Bill, it costs money to do these surgeries. When you have that kind of disparity where you're paying twice as much, 3 times as much here in this country as in other countries, doesn't that even make you suspicious a little bit?
Well, there's all kinds of issues, Doctor. We could talk for weeks about that, but let's get back to mostly we're talking about plastic surgeries. Brazil is very good at breast implants. They do a lot of rhinoplasty nose jobs down there. I mean, Brazilians. Just if you're thinking about it, do your due diligence on the internet, make the phone call, talk to somebody there. But like you said, when you add in the cost of lodging, when you add in the cost of travel, and the no follow-up. Remember, again, when you leave there, you're going to have to see somebody else if you have a problem. It's just not worth it. It's really not worth it. And even when you do it in this country, the best reference is, like you said, when you know somebody and you can look at them and say, hey, your breast looks great, your nose looks good, whatever you had done, did you have any problem? No, they were great, they were kind, they had great follow-up. I keep emphasizing that because a lot of doctors are a little bit weak when it comes to the follow-up. They do the initial surgery
right,
and all that to get you in there, but then the follow-up is a little weak, and that is just critical when you're doing cosmetic surgery. The healing process, things can get out of distorted when they heal because of the way the body is.
Oh, yeah.
It's really important.
Absolutely. No doubt. And it can be risky business. You mentioned Brazil. You're right. Brazil, I mean, all kinds of procedures. They do butt implants. They do, all kind of implants. It goes on there all the time. I don't know what's going on in Brazil. I don't get it. But people, you're right. People travel to Brazil and get. I know a couple people were in the gym that I go to, and you can see that they had work done. Right, both of them are women, and both of them are Latin too. And I don't know if they had it done here or if they went to Brazil. I don't know. But a lot of people go to Brazil. You're right. I appreciate your input, Bill. Thank you so much. How are you doing anyway? You doing good?
I'm doing good. Let me just add one thing about the butt implants. Never, ever, ladies, never. Wear a couple pairs of Depends if you want to have a little more junk in the trunk. But do not, you're sitting on these implants all the time. Do not do it. It's not going to look the way you want it to in the long run. But think about yourself sitting in assisted living at 75 years old with 2 plastic bags. This is one thing they never mention. Most implants have to come out at some point. Have to.
There you go. All right.
10% of all plastic surgeries in the world happen in Brazil.
Thank you very much. There you go. That's a lot. 10% is a lot, Gary.
Yeah. It's the leading country in plastic surgery.
Yeah, I know. Once in a while I get like every squirrel I get an acorn. Once in a while I get it right. No. I know. We come back, we'll talk. There's a lot going on. Chronic stress. I talk about that a lot on the show. It may put you at risk for cancer. Lot more trending. So much. No guests today. It's you and me. Call me. 877-897-8255. You don't call, you don't write.
Don't be